Hey there, folks.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe, and I'm scared right now.
Yes, we got two moms. They're amazing, but they have the mom eyes. We're going to talk about that in a second. Victoria Duerstock and Bethany Jett. Together, they put together Navigating Minefields, a book, a young man's blueprint for success of life's battlefield. Hi, girls. How are you?
Hey, super good.
And Bethany's able to join us this time. The last time we talked with Victoria, and Bethany wasn't able to join us because she had no voice, so she would have had to sign, and it would have been hard to read, So we're glad you're here and able to talk, Bethany.
Thanks. I'm so happy to be here.
Hey, may I start off, first of all, with the last name like Jett is so cool. I wish my last name were Jett.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I know. I say that's why I married my husband, because, this will work.
You saw the last name. Forget how he looked. As long as it was Jett, that was good.
That's a nice story right there.
Yeah.
That leads me to a question I may ask later on in the interview to include your husbands in this whole process.
Yeah.
But we talked to Victoria early on about the book, and what a great book. I love this. Now, did you guys know each other before you decided to put this together? How did you guys meet each other? Bethany?
We met at a writers' conference, actually. Just became really good friends after that. Both had book projects that we were working on. And, with this particular book, because I have the boys and Vicky's got a son as well, and we have similar backgrounds and parenting styles. And, she said, I know we're going to talk about the book, but it was her idea. She brought me in on. But yeah, we met at a writers' conference. Writers' conference has changed, I think, both of our lives, really. And it's a precious friendship.
Did it click right? Did it click right then, Victoria? You said, you know what? I got to get with this girl. We're going to write this together.
A friendship with Bethany we really clicked. But it came over the next few years, and she's written for, and I've written a variety to young men. And just as we raising love.
All right, Victoria, we're only getting about half of what you're saying right now. I'm not sure what's going on, but
we have a little bit of a technical difficulty. Well, let's do this. Bethany, let's talk about the book. You guys talk about anger. This is for your boys now. You both raised amazing boys, and no doubt you had your challenges because you include that in the book. But anger, laziness, dating, sex, work ethic, diligence. So tell us about the book. And tell us why that we all should get it to help raise our boys.
Well, raising boys, I say boys are a different breed, and I got
That's
three
one way
of
to
them.
put it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm completely outnumbered, and I have a brother, but he was much younger, so the whole boyness was so new to me, and each one is so different. But I think with society and everything that's going on, sometimes the boys get either pushed aside, or they get labeled as boys will be boys and behavior is excused, or they're not feminist enough. They're not. So when can they just be themselves? How do we help them become strong men of character and leaders for God with what they're having, what they're getting, from everybody else? And that was on both of our hearts. And we just, this book is for them. It's an advice book for them. But it doesn't sound like mom advice. That was we really wanted to make sure it didn't sound like it was moms talking to them.
Because they won't listen if it's mom talking to them, right?
They will hate it.
Hey, listen, like I mentioned earlier before we went live, I have three. They're men now, but I have seen mom's words go in this ear, honestly, and pop out the other side. And I'm like, I could even go over there and put my hand over their ear. But yeah, I think this is really cool because this is something that they can listen to and not let it go in one ear and out the other. So, Victoria, did we get the sound? I guess we got the sound fixed there.
I hope so.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
There you are. Okay, good.
All right. So you guys put this book together. Did you have any input at all from Dad?
Well, I think both Bethany and I talk with our husbands quite a bit, about our sons and how to best raise them and the stage of life they're into. I mean, when they're little, it's a little differently, but when you hit the teen years, it's a whole new ballgame. And so yeah, dad's definitely, at least, on my side, we talk about, raising our children all the time. And I know Bethany and Justin do as well.
Now, you talk about, it's called navigating minefields. Let's talk about some of those minefields for those of us who have boys, and even those who don't have boys who go, what in the world? What's a minefield? All I know, if you have girls, all I know is there's a lot of emotions and tears and stuff. So what are the minefields with boys?
Well, some that I thought of were straight from Proverbs, reading from Proverbs and thinking about diligence and integrity, thinking about just the pitfalls that we have in daily life today, where we're talking about sex and dating and trying to help, boys just navigate life right now. It's hard, and being strong men is also a message that they need to hear. They need to have a good work ethic and be able to know that that's a good thing. And that's something that they need to grow into as they become young men of character.
Bethany, how about you?
The two issues that really stuck out to me, along with ones that Vicky said, were anger and entrepreneurship, like with money and all that. And I've got 2 teen boys right now and one that just turned into a preteen, and the hormones that are happening in my house are foreign to me. And going back to the husbands, I'll look at Justin sometimes and just say, I do not understand what is happening right now. If these were girls, I would know exactly what to do, but I don't get this. And, so he helps me navigate, helping them navigate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, the book talks about so many minefields, and as folks read the book, should they just take it a bite at a time and not just throw everything at them at one time? How should they do this?
Oh, well, Vicky had a great idea when we were thinking about how to section this off. And so we sectioned them based on those characteristics so that you can read one at a time, a section at a time, or kind of pick and choose as you're going through. They're very small and bite size, which is, I think, good for boys. I'm having them read it in the car on the way to school when they don't take it out of the car and put it in the garage and leave it, which is where it is right now.
Yeah. They probably need an electronic version so they can just pull it up on their phone or whatever, right?
Well, we thought even creating a layout that had white space and quotes, that were easy to read. We just really worked a lot at trying to say, hey, this is a book we're going to market to moms and grandmas and coaches and team leaders of boys, people who teach boys, but we're going to want boys to actually read it. So how can we make the format easily readable? So that was a lot of conversation that we had on that.
We're talking about. Go ahead, Dan.
I was just going to say, I was telling Bethany Victoria, before you came on Amazon, at least, it's saying there's only one left in stock. So you need to get it right now, right away. Hurry up, go and pick it up. So apparently, obviously, people are picking it up. What have you heard so far from folks?
Well, it's been exciting to see some of the reviews come in. There was one that came in early on that meant a lot to both Bethany and I, that meant the reader actually got it. They got what we were trying to do: short snippets, keep things real practical, life lessons that matter. And so it has been good. We've had really positive feedback. So far, I haven't heard anything negative.
It's because they know that you'll give them the mom eye if you.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that.
Bethany, what about you?
Same thing. The reviews, the people who left these early reviews really took the time to say something beyond, this book was so good. And they like Vicky said, it was like they got it. This is a book written for boys to read, but really, really talking about that life advice that was going to help them, through. Because my boys don't often come to me and ask for advice. Usually I have to be paying attention to what's going on and just give it to them. So hopefully this is going to help, parents put the book in their hands so that it's something that they can keep in their room or have as a resource if their boys are anything like mine.
Yeah.
Navigating Minefields, the young man's blueprint for success of life's battlefields. Your favorite chapter and the chapter that makes you giggle, maybe. Bethany, what about you?
My favorite chapter is there's no such thing as free lunch. It was a lesson I learned in DARE. If anyone remembers DARE in elementary school, and the police officers would come in, and this guy was a speaker. He had a list of like 35 life lessons, but I never forgot that one. And my boys are pretty entrepreneurial. I can see that. Some of them hoard their money, so we're trying to talk about stewardship. But they also like to negotiate and make a deal. So this, we talk about opportunity cost. There's always a cost to everything. Just because it's free to you doesn't mean that someone had to pay for it, either in time or money. And so that's something we're really trying to work on now, is they're getting into almost being able to have jobs and things like that. That's my favorite chapter, I think.
So your boys are going to end up on Shark Tank is what you're saying. They're going to be making a deal.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
What about you, Victoria?
So I had quite a few that were favorites, and it was really fun as we put the book together to really look over kind of what Bethany and I wrote separately and to look to see kind of what we wrote together. There would be a few times where I would be like, this sounds like something I would say, but I don't remember writing this. And it was so similar in nature. So it was really a lot of fun to do that. But I think at the end of the day, my favorite's Eat the Frog. And that's that lesson, of how to get the things done in the day that you don't really want to do, and time management. I think that's just a super important lesson that's stayed with me, just like Dare did, stayed with me for a lifetime of, getting the things out of the way in the morning that you don't necessarily want to do. So you don't dread them all day long and then never get them done. And I just think that that's a really worthwhile life lesson.
Love that. Victoria and Bethany with the book Navigating Minefields, the Young Man's Blueprint for Success of Life's Battlefield. Since there's one on Amazon, would you deliver, you guys? Throw it in the van maybe, or the SUV, and just drop it by? What?
Yeah, easier said than done, right?
Yeah.
I'm all about getting the books in readers' hands, but that might be just a little bit depends on where they live.
Yeah.
Well, we pray this thing shake loose so people can get a hold of those books, because they're great books. You can go to ingamepress.com to find out more. How can they follow you guys personally, real quick?
My website is my name, BethanyJett.com. Every social media link is there.
Yep, same, VictoriaDuerstock.com.
You guys are a blessing. We love having you on the show. We'd love to have you again, maybe the first of the year. Let's look at 2022 and see what's up. Maybe a husband's book will be in the cards. I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe you can teach us how to do the mom eye. I want to.
Yeah, real quick. Each of you give the mom eye. We talked about the mom. There's Victoria. Okay, yeah. Bethany, go ahead. Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's the looking out of the side of the eye. I look like Popeye when I try to do it. So I need to work on mine.
I see young men taking out trashes, cleaning rooms, and doing all kinds of stuff that they really need to.
That's what I'm about to go do as soon as we finish.
Yeah. Ladies, you're awesome. We would like to hook up with you again at the first of the year. Check out the book and check out their websites. In-Game Press is a great place. InGamePress.com, great place to go to. And check out their socials. We'll be back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.